Next honoree is Devoney Looser, Hill Murray Class 1985, the Hill Murray Heritage Award winner. So, professor, scholar, writer, Guggenheim Fellow, and roller derby queen. More on that in a minute. Devoney grew up in White Bear Lake. During her time at Hill Murray, Devoney worked at the Pioneer Press and the Catholic Youth Center for Troubled and Mentally Disabled Children to help pay her tuition. She attended Augsburg College, where she immersed herself in the school newspaper, yearbook, literary magazine, and theater. She graduated from Augsburg with a degree in English and minors in French and communication. Devoney went on to receive her PhD from Stony Brook on Long Island with a certification in women's studies. She is currently a professor of English at Arizona State. In addition to being an author of 8 books, she published 30 articles, 23 book chapters, 4 book reviews, and 43 essays. She's been published in the New York Times, The Atlantic, and the very prestigious Entertainment Weekly. You may recognize Devoney from her time as a talking head on CNN. Her book, The Making of Jane Austen, earned her a spot on Publisher Weekly's Best Summer Nonfiction Book List in 2017. Devoney is currently working on 2 books, one a biography of the sister novelists Jane and Anna Marie Porter, which is a project supported by the Guggenheim Fellowship and a National Endowment for the Humanities Public Scholar Award. The book, that I anticipate to be the work of her lifetime, is a story about her experience with the roller derby. Devoney, best known as Stone Cold Jane Austen, was a legendary blocker in her day. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Stone Cold Jane Austen, aka Devoney Looser, with the Hill Murray Heritage Award.
Of that were true. I hope you realize that. It's an incredible honor to be recognized with this Hill Murray Heritage Award. My experiences as a student here more than 30 years ago laid the groundwork for everything I've done since that's meaningful. Now, I want to start with a story that even people who know me well don't know. When I was 13, I begged my parents to please let me go to Hill Murray. Mom and Dad, you didn't know it then. I know you know it now. This isn't a surprise to you. But it was because I wanted to get out of a bad situation. I watched as my friends, one by one, got in trouble with the law. Let me tell you, there's nothing quite like seeing a boy in your circle of friends get handcuffed and hauled off to a cop car to make you stop and think, Catholic high school, that might be a really good idea for me. I want to reassure you that most of those 8th grade friends are doing just fine today. But what I got by coming here made a significant difference in what became possible for me at every step of the way. Thank you, Mom and Dad, who are over here, for listening to me, for giving things up, and not just by scraping together tuition money. The number of hours you clocked driving me from White Bear Lake to Maplewood, picking up this friend in Stillwater, that friend Lake Elmo on the east side, it's mind-numbing. I'm not sure exactly how many dollars or how many hours of driving my receiving this award tonight counts for, but I hope that you will take it off of my tally. I'm so very, very much in your debt, and I hope to pay forward your generosity to me, to my 2 sons. This school fosters achievement in a context of caring and service. I don't need to tell you. Still, not every part of what happened here made sense to me at the time, and I've gotten a lot of mileage out of telling some of our strange traditions, I have to admit. People will talk about their time in high school, and I'll say, oh yeah? You think your high school's prom was cool? Well, our prom's theme was Dutch magic, with tulips. First, we were locked into the gym overnight. And then, before they released us in the morning, we went to Mass together. So top that prom. But most of the stories that I tell are of serious gratitude, especially for teachers. Mr. Paulson, who's here tonight, you helped me become comfortable enough in my own skin to speak before hundreds. You also taught me set construction. I remember one afternoon in the auditorium, you passed me an enormous handsaw, and you said, okay, now climb that 15-foot ladder, and I want you to take that saw and make that 2x4 flush with the other one. And I looked at it, and I looked at you, and I had absolutely no idea if I could do it. I was terrified, but you sounded so sure that I could do it. I wouldn't be here telling you this, but maybe it was just good acting. I don't know, that you were putting to work. But last week I was up on the roof of my house patching a leak, and that is thanks to you. I would not be at this podium delivering these lines without you, Mark Paulson, and our roof would probably still be leaking. You taught us lifetime skills through the theater. Your Hill-Murray Theater Archive recording that work is a wonder. Thank you, truly. Mrs. Jameson, who is also here tonight, you taught me French language and culture, or tried. But you gave all of us so much more. I don't know how she did it. I don't know how you did it, frankly. Every day you listened to us butcher the French language, the beautiful French language, and you did it with positivity. You taught me a person could attempt something, be a total disaster at it, and still take joy in it, still have a good time doing it. To give a teenager an ability to take joy in trying and failing, that is truly something. And it's an amazing gift. And voluntarily to chaperone teenagers on a bus trip abroad. I honor you, Queen Jameson, as a mother of teenagers. Merci beaucoup toujours. That was my best attempt. All of you who haven't thanked a teacher lately, yours or someone else's, I hope that you will go home and do it tonight. My HM classmates, you too make the school all that it was and is. Brian Mogren, previous Distinguished Alumni Awardee, your work at St. Jane House in North Minneapolis is inspiring. If you don't know about that, I hope that you will look it up. Other dear friends, how can I best honor you but with stories? Dutch Changes, Sherry Kudrowski, we made up a fake punk rock band for ourselves, which was a thing you could do in the 1980s without even having to play an instrument. Nobody really checked. And I always want to rock with the two of you. You have been there for me like rocks. Thank you. It hasn't all been a pep rally. The HM class of '85 lost classmates to most tragedies now known to church and state. We honor and remember our classmate, Officer Ronnie Ryan, killed in the line of duty, whose family, I believe, is here tonight. Others were taken from us far too soon, including Mike McHale, my prom date on that tulip-filled night, and it's important for me to say his name here and to honor him. A few of our classmates who are still with us didn't graduate with us and weren't allowed to, and I believe that they belong back with us if they will have us. It's never too late to support each other, to bring each other up and hold each other up. Yes, indeed, right? All of you Hill-Murray pioneers, our ties are deep and strong. Individuals may create connections to each other, but institutions either make them easier or harder to build and maintain. This school has made it so possible for so many of us to bond, serve, achieve, and lead. In February, I had the opportunity to spend a day visiting some HM English classes with the amazing Mrs. Fritzinger, Mrs. Chumley, and Ms. Stormont. I talked with their students about my favorite author, Jane Austen. They mostly didn't fall asleep, and I mostly didn't call them out for it. I lectured them about surrounding themselves with people who are able to help you maximize your potential. There's so much to be done to extend those opportunities to young people without the resources to come to a school like this one. And so many of you here are doing that work, and I honor that too. I want to close with a few lines from Jane Austen's teenage writings, written when she was about 17, the age that was imprinted on many of us here. In this story by Austen, two young women are discussing their mutual love of reading. One, Catherine, says to her friend, "For my own part, if a book is well written, I always find it too short." Her friend Camilla replies, "So do I, only I get tired of it before it's finished." Pioneers, I hope that I haven't tired you. We are not finished. There is so much more to do together with our time, our words, and our actions. I can't wait to do more alongside all of you in the heritage of the best of Hill-Murray School. Thank you again so much for this honor.